what a game. No need for confetti when you have toast. What is undoubtedly the best bowl game so far of this season for the college football year. The WKU Hilltoppers pulled off the improbable comeback, beating Old Dominion 38-35 in the first ever famous Toastery Bowl right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, I can't even describe to you how insane this game was, but I'm gonna try it anyways. Now in the fourth region tournament, Caden Murray was on fire in all three games on the mounds, pitching 3 straight days, including a no-hitter in the first game and beating South Warren in the championship game for the Lady Gators to win their first region title in 9 years. Just something about them Cadens, man. Them Cadens are legends wherever they are. Now, WKU hasn't beaten Louisville in back-to-back games since 1949. To put that in perspective, my granny was 10 when that happened. She is now 84. Love you, Granny. With the college football season on the horizon and fall camp currently underway, the WKU Hilltoppers are looking to start out the gates on fire offensively. But it's going to look a little bit different this year. WKU lost the deep threats of Dawood Davis and Jalen Hall, and also lost tight ends Josh Simon and Joey Belgian. In total, those guys amounted for 2,205 yards and 24 touchdowns, accounting for 45% of the offense. Obviously, the Hilltoppers do bring back leading receiver Malachi Corley, but they also bring back Mike Matheson and Dalvin Smith for continuity. New offensive coordinator Drew Hollingshead says he feels confident about the new guys and the depth of the new receivers room. Over at Warren East, the Raiders had a chance to capture a district championship for the first time since 1989. In that year, Michael Keaton became the Batman. The Bad Boy Pistons won the NBA championship, and the average rent was only $400. Can we please bring that back? The top-seeded Barron County Trojans taking on the Warren East Raiders. The reigning champs trying to repeat in enemy territory, while the Raiders were trying to win the 15th in their first year in it. First quarter, Caden Murrow dumps it off to Kajarius Barber. He gets the bucket and the foul, setting the tone for the Raiders. On the other end, you know who he is, Eli Brooks with the 3 from the wing. And then Tate Spillman, who may have had the game of his life, knocks down a tray as well. Brendan Bratcher floats a bunny before half as Warren East took a 3-point lead into the locker room. To the fourth we go. Isaiah Andrews swishes it through. And then watch this. Connor Doyle, he fakes the handoff to Andrews and finishes with a tough reverse layup. And then later for Barron County, Aiden Miller ties it up at 52 with that nice mid-range jumper. It turns into a game of free throws. Andrews knocks down both. So the score is 55-52 East. The student section is pumped. It's crazy in there. Then the ensuing possession, Bray Booley finds Spillman wide open in the corner, and he drains the 3. Tie game at 55. Andrews gets sent to the free throw line again. He misses the first. He makes the first, misses the second. Eli Brooks has the chance to hit the game winner, but Andrews blocks it. Time runs out on the clock. Fans storm the court, and after another down-to-the-wire game, the Warren East Raiders are district champions again for the first time since 1989, winning 56-55. It's pandemonium in Raider Nation. Get the kettle corn out, tune up the band, and turn on the lights because it's finally time for football Friday nights. Football season is finally here. We start in the first quarter with BG up 7-0. Deuce Bailey takes the quarterback read, gets to the outside, whoop, makes that man touch earth, and gets its way into the end zone for 6. That play even had me very hyped. I'm going to start out with a few puns here. All right, so let's get it. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's go crazy. Let's have some fun. Let's get back to business. Steve Lutz is the new head coach of the WKU men's basketball team. After a quick search, and WKU athletic director Todd Stewart talked about how the decision to offer Lutz the job came about. The Lady Toppers were back in action this afternoon, looking to right the ship here towards the end of regular season play. Every win is extremely important, and it looked like the Lady Toppers responded swiftly, but I compared this game to Game of Thrones. It was great for 90% of it, and then just completely fumbled at the finish line. So I am sure a lot of you, just like me, probably stayed up until 4 a.m. wondering how in the world did the Tops blow a 23-point lead in the second half and fell to New Mexico State. Well, I'm here to show you exactly how that happened. The Tops were up 23 points with 16 minutes left in the game. And then somehow, someway, New Mexico State got a hold of the game sliders and turned their three-point shooting all the way up to 100. At the 15:50 mark here, Jaden Harris made the team's first of 9 threes in the second half. Now we'll head to the 11:20
25 mark. And Harris here, he drills another one to make it a 14-point game from the wing, wide open. Very next possession, Robert Carpenter, he slips off the screen and fades to the wing and makes it an 11-point game. I'm telling you, all of these were just one after another with WKU going cold. That three there made it an 8-point game. And with this next three here, in a span of 2 minutes and 16 seconds, the Aggies hit 4 threes to make it a 5-point game. And it didn't help that the Tops weren't getting back on the Aggies' hottest shooter. Harris had 16 of his 18 points in the second half. The teams would go back and forth from there, with the Aggies hitting a few shots while the Tops were clutching their pearls, trying to hold on to that lead. And this bucket here made it a 1-point game plus the foul. State would take the lead before Rodney Howard went to the free throw line to tie it back up at 70. But then in the end, Femi Odukali got the bucket and the foul to put State up for good. The Hilltoppers had 4 seconds to try to tie it up or take the game-winning three, but they gave it to Don McHenry, who hadn't made a field goal all game long. He misses the tying shot, and that's how the Tops lost 72-70 to New Mexico State. An absolute brutal loss for the Hilltoppers. So like I've been saying over the past couple of days, it's the first time the Tops are back in the big dance in over a decade, about 4,025 days ago. So it got me thinking, what exactly was going on in the world back in the March of 2013? Well, for starters, I wasn't even a teenager yet. I was still in the 7th grade. We were still on the iPhone 4 back then. The iPhone 5 didn't come out until the end of the year in 2013. Fast forward to now, we're on the iPhone 15. RIP Steve Jobs, we miss you. In the NBA, the Miami Heat won back-to-back NBA Finals, the first team to do that since the Lakers did that back in 2009 and 2010. And the Ravens beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl. That's when Beyonce went so hard at the halftime show that the lights got knocked out in the fourth quarter. Oh, and this one's going to hurt Louisville Cardinals fans. Louisville won that year's NCAA tournament, which would later be vacated after their infractions, we'll say. And then at the Grammys, Macklemore beat out some of the greatest artists of all time for Rap Album of the Year. A true tragedy there. So now 11 years later, the Tops are back in the tournament. Can they make a run? We will find out on Friday. Okay, now today is the day a lot of people have been waiting 10 years for, the official release of College Football 25, aka NCAA 25. Now, I've been playing since Monday, so I wanted to show you all what this game looks and feels like. So, of course, in true WKU fashion, my opponent of choice was 100 miles of hate rival Middle Tennessee. And the details in this game are what stick out to me the most. Howard Smith Stadium looks almost exactly like it does in real life, barring just a few small differences. Plus, you can see all the WKU buildings and architect, including the bell tower in the background. Now, if you look at gameplay-wise, if you play on All-American or Heisman, the two hardest levels, it will take some time to get used to. But like I said, I've been playing for 4 days now, so I'm all right at that a little bit. And I had to carve up the Blue Raiders out here. Most, if not all, members of the WKU roster are in this game. The run game was killer for me in this one. I had over 200 rushing yards with Elijah Young. Don't know the last time WKU did that. And the receiving core of Dalvin Smith, Easton Messer, Mike Matheson, and River Helms is elite in this game. And defensively, A.J. Johnson and Upton Stout are hard to beat in the secondary. And if this game is a preview of how the Tops will be this year, then you know we are in for another fun year. So if you want that smoke from me, I am available at all times to upset your day. That's your look at sports. Everybody have a Miles Morales Monday. Bowling Green Parks and Recreation put on its 50th annual Special Olympics Kentucky Area 5 Spring Games.
This is just a celebration of our community of Special Olympics athletes, the coaches, the volunteers that make these things possible, and just a fantastic day to just show off the genuine love and joy of life and for sport. And it's just a fun thing to be a part of.
Special Populations Coordinator Cameron Levis has been around the Special Olympics his whole life, and it means the world to him to be able to showcase these athletes.
Adaptive and inclusive recreation and sport is a really big passion of mine. Just giving people with disabilities an opportunity, again, to show off their skills and abilities and give our community an opportunity to focus on a person's abilities and not their disabilities, and really focus on what somebody can do, which is going to help us continue to make a more inclusive and accessible society for people with disabilities.
Noah Button, who participated in 2 events, talked about his excitement for the event and everything leading up to it.
I just won for the 50 meters. I just go fast, and then I go do the shot put, and I go throw it to the ball and land on the ground. Just having fun, just get ready to see Gene Burke, just take pictures of Gene Burke, and then we did do the running and do a shot put, and we just need to take a break.
Levis's goal is for the Bowling Green area to lead the way accepting and including people with disabilities.
And we want our community to be the standard for what it means for people with disabilities to be included in our everyday life. And so that's what we celebrate every year when we come out here, and we will continue to do that. It's been 50 years, this is the 50th anniversary, and we're going to continue to do it for the next 50 years. And it's going to be exciting to see that continue.
And Noah wanted to leave a special remark to cap off the day.
Exciting.
How big of a smile is on your face?
Yes.
How much fun are we having out here today?
At Bowling Green High School?
We have all the fun out here, don't
Yes.
we? Yes. Tell the camera, say, we love Bowling Green, Kentucky.
We love Bowling Green, Kentucky.
And we love Special Olympics.
We love Special Olympics. Reporter Noah for WBKO for reporter. I will get you back for this. Gene?
Reporting from Bowling Green, Kaden Gaylord-Day, WBKO Sports. Colin Craig is a junior at WKU and the president of Delta Tau Delta Fraternity, who participated in his first Fight Night event for charity.
Then I just got there thinking, like, I don't know, I was just craving to do something big, craving to do something different that I've, like, not done before. I just got thinking about it, I was like, man, I really want to go this year to that. And then I was like, but what if I fought? Like, what if I started training, you know, a little bit now and see how I like it and maybe participate in the event.
The event is put on by WKU Sigma Chi fraternity to raise money for the Huntsman Cancer Foundation. But what most people don't know is that Colin battles his own form of health issues.
I battled pancreatitis, flare-ups, basically coming out of high school and stuff, and it's gotten a lot better. But, you know, it's still kind of causing me some trouble every now and then. I think it leads to a lot of other sicknesses, and it's a disease that not a lot of people know a lot about yet, including doctors. You know, right now there's really only experimental treatments for a lot of cases.
But even while going through his own adversity, Colin doesn't let it hold him back.
I don't like anything to be holding me back. Like I don't like, well, I don't like losing. I'm a really competitive guy. But I also don't like, you know, losing battles with life either. So I just try to, I really, that's what we were saying all before the fight, you know, with my fraternity and stuff, is rise above. That rise above is what was sticking in my mind throughout the entire fight night week and before. But just having the support too that I did, you know, it was really easy to know that I could go through with this.
And letting his faith guide him through it all.
Just relying on that faith has got me through so much, even though there's still going to be hard times. Relying on my faith has kept me going.
For anyone going through battles of their own, Colin has some advice to keep fighting.
You can do a whole lot more than what you think you can. And once you find that out, there's really no stopping you. And I mean, nothing's holding you back. You'll forget. You'll forget that you're even struggling.